Okay, my journey began about 10 years ago where I started unisex hairdressing down in Maidstone, Kent, where I'm from. Did that for about 8 to 9 years, and then moved up to London 5 years ago, carried on that path, and then about a year and a half ago I moved full-time into barbering. I have no idea. I just came up with it. It was just one of those things. It was when I first started using Instagram. I think I had like 10 followers. One of them was my mum. You know, it was just like, oh, what's different than Frank Reimer? So I put Frank_glorified, and for some reason the name's just stuck. People like it, so I'm going to keep using it. We don't have any products at the moment. The actual brand is Larry the Barber, which is a brand that I started about a year or so ago. We started off doing pop-up events, working at things like bike shows, custom car shows, and then more and more people kept asking me about what I would do, like if I could help educate them, you know, learning them how to do clipper work, how to do simple cutting techniques, if I was going to release any videos. And I just kind of started talking to a friend of mine who's also been an educator for the last kind of 10 years. And we collaborated, and now we've actually started our own thing now called the Art of Barbering. So since about December we launched it, and since then it's been going really, really well. A particular style that I have, it's a hard question because I like to try and be as versatile as I can. I'm always constantly looking for the next thing. I'm a big fan of rockabilly. I love the rockabilly pompadours. Not just the traditional rounded quiffs, but the real kind of hard right angles and really tight skin fades, razor fades, lineups. I take kind of aspects from everything where I can. A lot of afro hair. I love how sharp the lines are in that, how clean the fades are, but then I like the softness as well, kind of real traditional with the 50s. I'll try and take everything I can and put it into how I work. My greatest sense of satisfaction is seeing a client come back. It means that they're happy with their hair. I love the idea of someone looking in the mirror and then having a look at the back of their haircut and going, yeah, it's a really good haircut, and that you can actually see it in their face. It's not just a general, yeah, I'm good with that, thanks. They generally really, really enjoy the experience of coming into the barbershop, getting their haircut for half an hour, having a good chat, getting away from the missus, getting away from work, you know, and just sitting down in a man's environment and having a real laugh at the same time. Especially in this shop here that I'm working in at the moment, a lot of banter flies from chair to chair all day long. It's a little bit like being down the pub all day, and I think men quite like that experience, and seeing a guy enjoy that and come back, that's really satisfying for me. The greatest achievement for me, I would say personally, is being able to travel with my work. I never thought that I'd be able to do that just by having a set of scissors in my back pocket. And it really is one of those things where you can call it a trade, because you can take those set of scissors or those clippers with you anywhere in the world, and a little bit of pocket money, and that will take you through and help pay for your travel. And it's amazing because the amount of people that I've met along the way all say the same thing. So for them, the greatest achievement is being able to meet new people within the industry through social media, being able to have a 5-minute chat, and the next thing you know you're on a plane, having it like working next to them in the shop. Okay. And I think that's amazing, and I think that's the best achievement, is being able to meet a lot of new people within the industry.
Okay. Talking about travel, I saw recently you went to Canada and you couldn't put down your clippers. You were cutting in Canada. Can you tell me, how was the power in Canada comparing to the frequency 60 Hz converter that you're now using?
So the moment I started using the converter here, I was using one that I bought in just a kind of general electronics store, and it did the job. It was okay. My clippers were running and they were cut. I did find that my fast feeds that I was using would snag a little bit every now and then. I didn't know whether that was the clipper or whether it was the converter I was using, and then you gave me the one that you know have been working on and developing with the company and stuff, and the difference was phenomenal. I mean, there was no snagging, it was quicker, the clippers felt more durable, there was no rattling. And then I took it over to Canada, where obviously the voltage there is what the clippers are built for, and to be honest with you, couldn't really notice that much difference. Maybe a slight speed difference, but not to the point where it's like, it was huge. You know, it was so close to the true voltage. It was really, really good.
Okay.
I find the US clippers, they tend to be a lot more durable, they're a lot more stronger. I find when I use the UK based clippers that I'm buying new ones every kind of couple of months. I have to clean them a lot more regularly. I mean, I know I should do anyway, but I do find that when I'm using the UK clippers, the blades aren't as strong, the motor's not as strong. And like I said, there's no point in me spending kind of £50 on a set of clippers every 4 months when I can buy a nice set for kind of 60, 70 quid, have it imported, and it lasts me, well, I mean, I've had these middle ones now for going on 2 years, and I've not even changed the blade on them. So it's just the steel's a lot better, the power's a lot stronger, they'll cut through a lot more different hair types. Those are brilliant for afro hair. It just seems to be, as an all-rounder, they seem to be a lot better. So before that, when I was using the US clippers through my general converter that I was using, I'd found that, like I was saying earlier, the fast feeds I was using were snagging a little bit when I went to the 0.5 or the 0.7 that's on the clipper. It would just get caught all the time. I'd have to kind of readjust the clipper, bring it back down to the 0.5 just to make sure it didn't kind of get caught on the hair. Going through wet hair as well, as much as I don't agree that you should clip a wet hair too much, if you do happen to do it, they were kind of getting caught in thick hair, whereas now that I'm using the converter, just goes straight through it. It's like a hot knife in butter, it just literally cuts through anything that I can do at the moment. So that converter, the fact, I love how small it is. I can literally kind of zip it up, put it in a bag and take it, because I do a lot of guest spots, and like yesterday I came back from Dundee, I was working up in the north of the country, in Scotland, and I could just literally put the converter in my bag, fly up and fly back down, and there was no extra weight, it wasn't really heavy, it's just nice and easy to kind of take with you, and especially when you've got the 3-pin on that as well, so it means I can use like 3 sets of clippers. So I'm using like the GTX, I'm using the Well Senior, and I'm using the fast feeds, and I've got all that set up for me straight away. It's perfect. My advice to say I'd like to go for it is, I do think that if you was to use a normal converter, I've got a funny feeling that eventually your clippers will break because the voltage isn't running properly. Yeah, I do think that the converter is going to be better for you if you use that one, because I think that if you was to use a normal converter, it's going to I think it's going to eventually break your clipper because of the rattling and things like that. I think the housings kind of break, and all the nuts and bolts might kind of come loose. I think if you're using one of these converters here, I think that they're running true, so that it's actually going to make your clipper last a lot longer. So it's more looking after your clippers as well as the quality of the work that's coming out there.